I'm going to show you how to use your own custom email address in Proposify when you're sending proposals to clients. Now, first of all, what do I mean by that? Well, if I go here to my profile and I look at the email address that I'm using in my account, it says send emails using this address. Now, what happens if I click here? So it says currently you're sending proposal or emails from myproposal@proposify.biz. What that means is when you send a proposal through the system, we use your name in the from field, but if your client actually looks at the from email address, they're going to see myproposal@proposify.biz instead of your email address. Now in the reply to field, they will see your own email address. So in this case, they would see me@kyleracki.com. Why do we do this? Well, we do it because if we try to send emails on your behalf using your email address, they are often going to get blocked in spam filters because your client's email servers are going to look at it and say, well, your email address, joe@acmeco.com isn't the same domain or server as proposify.biz, so it might think that you're trying to spam them. So the way around that, if it's important to you that it comes from your own email address and they don't see proposify.biz if they click on the to field, what you'll need to do is generate an email signature using our mail provider, which we use Postmark. And then once you do that, you're going to need to add some records to your domain, which if you've seen the custom domain video, you'll get an idea of how to add records to your domain. We're going to go through it again. And then once that's done and they propagate, then you'll be able to use your own email address. So let's walk through this. First, it says we need to generate a signature. So let's do that. It says a postmark confirmation email has been sent to me@kyleracki.com. So I'm going to look and see if I got that. And it did. It said postmark confirm signature. In order to use this, you have to confirm the email address. So I'm going to activate that signature, which it says sender signature activated. Okay, I can close that now. So the next thing I'm going to do is go back in here, and it says you need to add the following text records to your domain DNS. So there's two. There's an SPF setting and there's a DKIM setting. Those probably sound a little bit complicated, but they're really not too bad. So first I'm going to go into my where I manage my DNS. So DNS is domain name server, and that's usually your hosting provider where you have your website hosted. So it could be GoDaddy, it could be Media Temple. In my case, it's Rackspace. So I'm going to go in to manage the DNS or the domain name servers for my domain, which is kyleracki.com. So it tells you what you need to add in for the host. So it says SPF settings, add the host is kyleracki.com, and this is the value. Okay, I'm going to start with that one. So let's go and add a record. And we're going to choose a text record. And then we're going to add host is kyleracki.com. So it looks like I can just leave this blank because there's no subdomain. It says it's optional. And the value is this. So I'm just going to copy that and add that value in and add the record. Okay, so now I'm going to add the DKIM record, which is this. So I need to go back in again and add another text record, and it says the host should be this. So you'll notice there's this kind of key, and then there's the domain.kyleracki.com. So I'm going to just copy everything before the .kyleracki.com. Obviously, if it's for you, it would be if your domain is acmeco.com, you would add in everything before the .acmeco.com and then place it here. And then for the text or the value, I'm going to add this right here, this long string, and let's add that. Okay, so now I have these two records that I've added. I've got this one, the DKIM record, and then I've got this SPF record. Now, if you're having trouble with these things, sometimes what happens is you've got two DKIM records, or you've got more than one DKIM record, and you actually have to merge them into one. And there's a way to do that. It's kind of beyond the scope of this video, But if you need help with that, it's really best to ask your hosting provider or whoever manages your domain or your website to ask them if they can add this DKIM record and merge it with an existing one. So let's go back here. Now that we've added these records, let's verify the settings. So let's click Verify. Now you might get this notice that says your DKIM record is either not set up or it's not yet active. It can take up to 12 hours for this setting to become active. So unfortunately, you do have to play a bit of the waiting game. Okay, so I waited for a little bit of time and then went back to verify, and now it says that your domain is set up and ready to start sending from your own email address. So that's great. Key thing to keep in mind, because I'm using the kyleracky.com domain, that means that anybody on my team who uses the same domain, so let's say your domain is acmeco.com, you only need to generate the signature and add the DKIM and SPF records to your domain once, and then if you've got 50 teammates who all use the same @acmeco.com email address, they don't need to do that all over again. All they need to do is go in and verify their domain under their own account, and they should be good to send from their own email address. So now when you go to a proposal and you go to the send screen, the from email address is now going to be, in this case, me at kyleracky.com and not my proposals at proposify.biz. So that is how you set up your own custom email address.